Hello, my name's David Gay. I'm the author of the blog David Allen Gay. Today's post would be something that I would type up and accompany with a somewhat clever icon. But today's a milestone day, and it's not a good milestone day. I'm going through what I coined previously in a blog post called an emotional flat tire. I just spent the last 4 hours unsuccessfully trying to write a blog post for this particular day, this particular milestone, and I just don't have the stomach for it. Today in Toronto, it's a beautiful day. It's sunny outside. It's not hot. It's a beautiful day to go out for a walk. I could care less right now, the way I feel, and I'll explain why. As I said, today is a milestone day for me, and it's not a good milestone. Today marks the 1,000th day of unemployment. That's right, I have not worked for 1,000 days. That's almost 3 years, despite my best efforts and despite my best attempts to find work, as chronicled in my job search blog here. I'll be very frank and honest with you. I've never, in my wildest dreams, believed that I would be out of work for this long. I've been out of work before. It's part and parcel of the Canadian life. You sometimes go through economic downturns like recessions, and invariably you find yourself out of work. The shortest amount of time that I was out of work was about 4 days. The 1980s, and the longest, well, not including this situation, the longest before this particular spell, I was out of work for about 5 months, and that was during the 1990s recession. I honestly believed that on January 4th, 2010, I would be back to work by the summertime, and that was, of course, an estimate that I passed 2 years ago. And here I am, September 29th, 2012, I'm out of work still. And I will admit my mood's not too good right now. I just reviewed my last 3 blog posts, and it certainly shows that I've not been in a very good mood. There's a bit of edge to the words that I typed to show that I'm not exactly a happy camper right now. I'm not really sure how I feel right now. I mean, if someone were to ask me, Dave, how do you feel about this? Well, obviously it's not a good feeling, but I can't pin down precisely the right word as to how I feel. As I said, it's a beautiful day outside and I don't care. I think what I'm feeling right now is a mishmash of emotions, kind of like the way sounds or instruments come together to form a completely different sound. Something that is greater than the sum of its parts. I think what I'm going through right now is just like that. A lot of feelings, mostly negative, coming together to put together this new feeling that I'm experiencing right now. So I'll try to break it down as best I can as to what I'm experiencing right now on this 1,000th day of unemployment. The first feeling that comes to mind is confusion. Surprisingly, it's confusion and not anger or sadness or frustration, but confusion. I worked in the IT field for 20 years, mostly at large corporations that employed hundreds of people. I was a programmer and a system administrator responsible for hardware and software worth hundreds of thousands of dollars Canadian. And those are big challenges to keep those things running as best they can. What I did when I was a programmer and a system administrator was, no matter how tough things got, And no matter how difficult the problem was, I always found a solution. All I needed to do was to simply keep trying and keep putting in effort until the problem is solved. There's no quick fix for everything or anything, but in the end, I always solve the problem. This particular experience right now that I'm going through is very confusing. I have thrown pretty much everything I know, time, effort, even money, into this particular problem, which is my job search. And 1,000 days later, I'm still not working. I've not come up with a solution to a problem. And, one would think this is not a big problem compared to what I used to handle at my last job. Yet, it has confounded me. It has puzzled me. It has, to use the young person expression, I got nothing. I don't know what is going on. It's not like, as I said, that I didn't try. All you need to do is just go over my blog posts since March of this 2012. And you'll have a pretty good idea of what I've done, and you'll probably be scratching your head as much as I am right now as to what exactly went wrong. I don't know. There is anger. I'm not sure what type of anger it is. It's not fury. It's not rage. It's kind of like a smoldering anger, simmering. I'm not too sure where to direct my anger at. Is it myself for not finding work? Is it at those people who I thought were my friends, but were not, in the end, at my back when I really needed them? Was it the places I applied at that, after countless resumes and application forms sent, did not hire me? Is it the job placement centers, the employment assistance centers that I went to, 3 of them in fact, that instead of keeping their promise to help me find a job, be there for me, would not return my phone calls, would not reply to my emails, and instead of finding me survival jobs to keep me going, pay the bills, and finance my job search, I would instead be handed silliness like this: personal image enhancement workshops, but my tax dollars are paying for at the provincial and federal level, which I don't particularly care about. I'm not interested in that. I just want to find a job, and stuff like this does not help me. I don't know where my anger is supposed to go. I don't know where I should direct it at, and I think that's what's really eating me right now, because it's an anger I can't focus on. Usually when you're angry at somebody or something, you can direct it and you can get it out of your system. In my case, I don't have a target. I don't know what to be angry about. Maybe it's a state that I'm in right now. I'm angry for not being able to find a job. And there's hurt. There's a lot of that. I don't think hiring managers and other potential employers really understand how people feel. When you show enthusiasm and initiative and willingness to be the best person for the job, to go through the same old routine, to smile, to sit up straight, not talk with your hands, really try to prove that you really want this job. And they would just play a game with you. They would not tell you what was really going down, the information that you needed to know to have a proper job strategy with all your pieces in the right places so that you're not tripping up over certain things while trying to get other things done. I remember one situation where there was this one position I applied for, and for 3 weeks I followed up with the manager after the interview, expressing my interest, saying I'm still available. And the person was replying back to me saying, oh, we're still considering our candidates. While in the end, the candidate was already selected. And for 3 weeks, I was being strung along, not knowing until 3 weeks later that the position was already filled shortly after I left. As I said, half-jokingly to somebody, a fellow blogger, as a matter of fact, when I found out, the space-time continuum cracked with the swearing and the cursing and the feelings that I expressed for being led this way. And I don't think employers really understand how you feel or what damage that they can do to you, either unwittingly or maybe willingly, when you are treated this way as a job searcher. It's really confusing, it's really hurtful, and it makes me very angry. So I don't know really how to focus it. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling at this point. I'm feeling a lot of feelings right now. Now, how have I actually handled these feelings? Like, what did I do to try to get around it? I'm reminded of an email that was sent to me by a friend of mine who said that there was a woman by the name of Taylor Gray Mayer, I believe she was in California, who applied several times to work for the San Diego Padres organization. 30 job positions that she applied for, and she was turned down about 30 times. And after that particular rejection, she received another email from someone in that organization inviting her to a networking session to talk with some of the managers there, along with many other people. But the catch was that she had to pay close to $500 American to be a part of this. Well, I'm not going to tell what she said to this manager. I put a link at the bottom of this particular blog post, just in case you're interested. But I must say two things on that subject. I've never heard in my 48 years of existence a woman actually use that expression that a man would normally use. It's astounding when I saw the email that she wrote as a reply. It was mind-boggling. The second reaction that I got was a sudden release of laughter to the point of tears. I laughed so hard my sides hurt. Not because I was laughing at her, not because I was laughing at the San Diego Padres for getting the sharp edge of her anger. More like I lived vicariously through that person and through that email that she wrote. How many of us as job searchers really want it, and admit this truthfully to yourselves? How many of you have always wanted to write a letter just like that to a potential employer who played games with you just like that? I've come close. I've never gone quite to the point that she's gone. But I have reminded people gently, though firmly, that you're just stringing me along and you're playing games. One particular example was a temporary agency I applied for 2 months ago in July. And for those 2 months, I was told that my file was open and that there was work available for me once it came in, but that person was not willing to return my phone calls or reply to my emails. Pretty much, as I mentioned before, what I've experienced with a lot of people is through my job search, this rudeness not to reply to my inquiries is mind-boggling. Anyways, after 2 months, I said to that person, I showed that I was willing, enthusiastic, and had a desire to work for this organization, but that's no substitute for patience, and my patience was exhausted. So I pulled my application. And the irony of that is the person replied back that they wanted to speak to me, and that was probably one of 2 times that that person ever replied back. And it was ironic in a way that that person replied to me only because I pulled my application. I can tell you that I did not return that inquiry. And the reason why I did not return that inquiry was because if that's how I'm being treated before I get the job, imagine how I would be treated if I was actually hired by that temporary agency. I figured I would just simply move on and not reply back. But getting back to Ms. Mayer's letter or email to the San Diego Padres, yes, I did live vicariously through these people, through the email rather. And I wish I could have done that for a lot of the places that I applied to that strung me along. Maybe I would have burned some bridges in the process, but I probably wouldn't be feeling the way that I feel right now, because every single time I go through something like this, every single time that I'm being played for a sucker at these places that I applied to, strung along, rudely dismissed, I have to keep it inside. And it grows 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 and it gets more and more and more until it gets to exactly what I'm feeling right now, 1,000 days later, where it's sunny outside and I don't care. So where do I go from here? What do I do? I really don't have a straight answer for you on that one. I do know that Monday's 2 days from now, the 102nd day of my unemployment, I have an interview with my 4th employment assistance agency. As I said in a previous blog post, I don't have a lot of confidence that anything's going to come out of it. I'm going to be told to write winning resumes. I'm going to be told to use action words in my 10-second elevator presentation. I'm going to be told to go to workshops for interviews and not talk with my hands, make good impressions. And I'm simply going to say, I've already been doing that for nearly 3 years. Thank you for your time, and I'll just simply walk out. But at the same time, I can't throw myself a pity party. I can't feel sorry for myself, despite how I feel right now. Despite the fact that I can't appreciate a sunny day right now, I can't afford to wallow into myself a pit of depression that will prevent me from looking for work when Monday morning rolls around. What I am hoping will happen, in addition to my job search that starts Monday morning, that this video would capture what all of these job coaches and statistical experts can't capture, is that the damage that being unemployed does to a person. Because in addition to the feelings that I've listed right now, I also feel very tired. Not tired as in I just ran a marathon tired, or I worked late at my job tired, or I helped my my friend move tired and my body is aching tired. More like awareness of the soul. Not of the mind, not of the body, but of the soul. It's like I don't feel like myself. I don't feel what I'm doing really matters. And I don't know what the next move is, so I feel lost. That's the damage that cannot be captured in an unemployment rate recorded by Statistics Canada or any government agency that records statistics like this for the unemployed. I hope, in addition to being sort of a self-therapy and a catharsis for myself, that it would get the message across just why unemployment is such a serious social problem in our society right now and why we need to do something. Because I'm not the only person who are going through emotional flat tires right now. I'm sure that if you are watching this video and you're a job searcher yourself, you've had these emotional flat tires too. And you don't know what you're going to do next. But the one thing, as I said, you do need to do is to continue with the job search. And that's what I am going to do Monday morning. I'm going to take 2 days off today and tomorrow just to not think of looking for work. Not worry about filling out an application form online. Not posting a Kijiji or a Craigslist ad. Not networking with your friends, family, or former coworkers. Just try to get back to who I am as a person and try to find that spark again that makes me me, so that when Monday morning rolls around on the 1002nd day, that I can continue with my job search that will hopefully find me full-time employment. And then I will have something good to write about instead of recording the video like this. As I said, it's no time to throw a pity party. But it's also something that needs to be noted, that what you go through has an effect on you when you're not working. And I hope whoever's watching this video, be it an employment assistance expert and career coach, a government, a member of government like Parliament, or maybe a captain of industry who has the keys to creating employment, can understand. I thank you very much for taking the time to view this video. I apologize for the format being unscripted like this. And I hope, like my other blog posts, that it has conveyed my feelings and my position regarding my current status. Thank you again, and have yourself a wonderful day. Bye for now.